It's 6 days to the Joe News National Media Freedom Dialogue on defending media freedom ahead of the December general election. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Election Brief. We're live on DSTV channel 421, Gold TV channel 125, on all our social media platforms and around the world at myjoyonline.com. Election headquarters is brought to you by Petrosol Platinum Energy, energizing dreams. The Chartered Institute of Management Accountants and the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants, together as the Association of International Certified Professional Accountants. Also brought to you by Chopbox Technologies, a convenient service, and Youth Brief Foundation, bridging the gap for positive youth development. My name is Faustina. Safa will be back with details to stay tuned in. Thanks for choosing us for your home of independent, fearless, and credible journalism. Now, the opposition National Democratic Congress is promising a solution-based manifesto as the party prepares to unveil the blueprint tomorrow in the Central Regional Town of Winneba. The party is optimistic the manifesto will address key challenges facing the country. Although the document is yet to be made public, speeches by the flag bearer of the NDC on the campaign trail gives an idea of what is likely to feature. My colleague Maxwell Agbawa has more in this report.
Supporters of the National Democratic Congress (NDC) gathered at the Jubilee Park in Tamale for the launch of the party's campaign. This event marked the beginning of what is expected to be an intense campaign period. Since the launch, the NDC flag bearer has toured the Upper East region, launched the Youth Manifesto at UPSA, engaged with the young people at Bukum, toured the Volta region, and more. Key among his messages, which gives an idea of what will be featured in the yet-to-be-launched NDC Manifesto, is a proposal for a 24-hour economy which the NDC flag bearer says will create jobs, and more jobs.
NDC has the men and the women. And it's not like what the MPP said, we have the men. And we didn't know they were area boys. And our first priority is going to be job creation, so that we can create jobs for the teeming youth of this country. And that is why I'm proposing the 24-hour economic policy. The policy is going to be linked with aggressive food production and modernization of our agriculture. And that's why I'm saying in every district we're going to create farmer service centers. We will bring the tractors, the planters, the plows, the seeds, the fertilizer. And if you're a farmer, you must register with the center. And at the beginning of the farming season, we'll give you all the inputs that you need so that you can produce your crops.
The establishment of a Women's Development Bank is also high on the agenda for the NDC flag bearer if elected. This, he says, will provide Ghanaian women with loans for their businesses. The NDC flag bearer has also indicated that scrapping what he describes as obnoxious taxes will be a priority. They include the betting tax and e-levy.
Will I say, the matter be street matter?
It be street matter. Yeah, if you talk pidgin.
Exactly, make that one pidgin. So my boys and girls on the streets, they are very happy. If only you assure us and promise us that you are going to abolish the 10% bear tax.
This one be the yawa of the day. You see, boys they hustle, and job no day. So now the bet they do small, get money for gobe. So we talk already. Say where we come, the betting tax will go remove them. E-levy too will go remove them.
John Mahama says he's committed to ensuring that first-year students at Ghana's universities do not pay academic facility user fees. Despite skepticism from some sections of the public, he says it is possible by cutting government waste, estimating the cost at between 270 and 290 million Ghana cedis. The NDC flag bearer says he will form a government of less than 60 ministers and deputy ministers of state. He says the future NDC government will improve the free senior high school policy and extend it to students in private schools. He also promises to fight corruption and hold corrupt officials in the Kufuor-led government accountable.
Abuga Pele is my friend. The National Youth Authority, himself and others were prosecuted during my tenure. I was not happy to do it, but I mean, one has got to do what he's got to do. And so, yes, we'll pursue corrupt officials and we'll deal with them. And when we're dealing with them, if somebody does the same in our administration, that person will also be dealt with. So I've sounded a warning. Everybody who wants to be a minister, a CEO in John Mahama's administration. If the Office of Special Prosecutor comes after you, you are on your own. I'm not a clearing agent. I will not clear you.
Well, members of the manifesto team met the Council of Elders of the NDC to brief them on the document. Former chair of the NDC, Ofosu Ampofu, tells Joe News the party will present a superior document. Speaking to my colleague Emmanuel Jivenu, Mr. Ampofu said the party will counter what he describes as government-led intimidation tactics aimed at suppressing votes in the Volta region. He said the NDC will stand firm against any underhand dealings that could derail the party's chances in the 2024 presidential and parliamentary elections.
Well, I think the expectations of Ghanaians is that they are looking for a very credible alternative policies that will be able to address the Hydra-headed challenges that we are facing as a country. We are in a country where there is, the economic downturn. There is unemployment rate has gone very high. The economy is facing challenges. The cedi is still falling to the dollar and has virtually reached its highest peak, nearly about 16 Ghana cedis to $1, as opposed to when the MPP took over from the NDC, when the dollar was just hovering around 4.2. And so cocoa production has plummeted, and today cocoa production that almost went to about 1 million tons during the era of the NDC is now almost below 500,000 metric tons, and so food production and food prices, food inflation has gone very high, in spite of the planting for food and jobs that the government touted as one of their flagship programs. And so a lot of Ghanaians have been worsened as a result of the mismanagement of the economy, and it appears that this government has no clue as to salvage the sinking ship of the state. And so the expectation is that the NDC, having a very, very capable hands like Excellency John Dramani Mahama, who has proven that even in the face of difficulties, he can rise to the occasion. We all know during the time of the NDC, during the energy crisis, he came and promised the good people of this country that he will fix the doomsday situation, and managed to fix the doomsday situation to the extent that when the MPP came, they were even accusing the NDC of generating excess energy and therefore creating challenges for this country. So we have a president who has track record when COVID came, but for the visionary leadership of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama in trying to expand the health infrastructure of this country by building the University of Ghana Medical Center, the International Maritime Hospital in Tema, the Rich Hospital, the various hospitals across the country. It would have been very difficult, the Bank of Ghana Hospital and so on and so forth. So President John Dramani Mahama has proven that he is capable, he is visionary, he has a very solid hands-on approach of trying to practically address the challenges of this country, as opposed to the MPP, who theorize everything, but when it comes to practical realities, they are unable to address the challenges that the country is facing. So this manifesto is going to be a very practical-oriented manifesto that will try to address the challenges that we face as a country. It will address the unemployment situation by the introduction of the 24-hour economy. It will also come out of the big push where His Excellency wants to inject about $10 billion into infrastructure development and expansion. And we all know that when you talk about the infrastructure king, it is John Mahama. And so once you are expanding the infrastructure and there are a lot of projects going on, job openings will be there for everybody. Again, the 24-hour economy is going to trigger, expansion in productivity, and thereby a lot more people will be put on the job market. Again, I believe that with the economic enclave that has been created, we should be able to increase trade among ourselves. And for that matter, the demand for production is there. All what we need to do is to put the necessary infrastructure and the environment where productivity can be increased, so that trading among ourselves, even as African countries, I keep on saying that even in the cocoa industry, if we decide that Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire alone will be supplying cocoa derivatives to the African market, look at Nigeria population alone. So we'll be able to set up and expand more secondary production line for cocoa products, and thereby create more employment for our people. So the 24-hour economy will be a game changer. The 24-hour economy will make sure that our ports and harbors are able to operate optimally, and by so doing, a lot more workers also come on board. Already, there has been expansion of both the Tema and Takoradi port, which was initiated by the NDC government. And so it will be like the continuation of what we started. And I believe strongly that yesterday we had a briefing from the Manifesto Committee led by a chairperson, Professor Kwaku Dansobafo, and the people took us through the highlights of the manifesto, which I don't think that I have the permission to put them out, because we are less than 48 hours or thereabout for the manifesto to be launched. But from the briefing that I got, I can assure Ghanaians that they should rest assured that the NDC is coming out of a workable manifesto, a more practical, resource-oriented manifesto that will address the challenges that is facing Ghanaians today.
The Volta region is the stronghold of the party, but you have attributed Volta Apathy to how the party performed in this region. What are you doing this time around to solidify your presence in the Volta region and probably in the Ashanti region as well?
I think that recently His Excellency John Dramani Mahama toured the Volta region. You see the energy level there is very high. Anytime that election is coming on, the government will find some means, the last time around, find some means to say that there are some breakaway people, and there are also decided to inundate the area with military people and all, so on and so forth, and using intimidation tactics and others to, ensure that they suppress the vote in the Volta region. I think this time around, the NDC should stand resolute and prevent the government from any underhand dealings that will reduce and suppress vote in the Volta region. And what we have to do is not to take them for granted that, look, this is our stronghold. As for politics, even people, when they are supporting you need to energize the base, you need to encourage them, you need to increase visibility, and you also need to adopt strategic GOTV strategies. GOTV is get out the votes. That is GOTV, get out the votes. Because on election day, if you don't get the people to come out and vote. So those are the strategies that will have to be put in place to ensure that as many people as possible are enabled to go and exercise their franchise. That is why it is important that even as the Electoral Commission has opened the register for exhibition, everybody takes a little bit of time to go and check your name in the register and ensure that your single vote in Ghana, to become a president, you have to win 50% plus one, which means that one vote can make somebody a president of the Republic of Ghana. So go and check your name and ensure that your name is in the register, and try and exercise your franchise and look at your circumstances. As President Kufuor said in 2000 election, we'll go back and play a remix of that one and say, Papa, as we move into the 2024 election. I believe that the NDC is poised. Structurally, the party has put its structures in place very well and firm, and I believe that a lot is being done to ensure that we tie all the loose ends and ensure that we do not, there will be no excuse for the NDC not to win the 2024 elections. Yeah.
Well, ahead of the 2024 manifesto launch of the National Democratic Congress, some residents of Kumasi have been sharing perspectives on the expected policy direction of the main opposition party. Respondents, mainly commercial drivers, artisans and traders, are concerned about the economic initiatives to drive down cost of fuel, spare parts, and taxation on essential commodities.
This Saturday coming, Mahama Manifesto want to launch for us. We don't want any waga propaganda things to as a hand. As you know, this is very serious election. So we want the truth from the politicians. We don't want any propaganda things from us. We want the truth. If you say you can do, just come and do. If you say you can do, just tell the truth for us.
Adia Bakua, yeah, Papa, JDM, Aka, Ebaya Meda, because Mimi Jadini, Midija, and see. Women's Bank now.
As a businesswoman, I am particularly excited about the Women's Bank because the interests on loans these days are really huge.
Sometimes
the prices of spare parts are really expensive here at Magazine. If he can include it in his manifesto, we'd be glad to vote for him.
Our expectation is to see to it that artisans enjoy their side of the national cake. They should have more TVET training and more training for our artisans so that they can also be abreast with what is going on in the world now.
If Mahama can clear all the police officers who take bribes, I'd personally be happy because we don't get enough as drivers and we must pay these officers too. Before Mahama exited, the tricycles were selling at 70 and 80 Ghana cedis, but now it's expensive. He should be able to reduce the prices of goods.
Well, still on the NDC, in December last year, Johnson Asiedu Nketia unseated Samuel Ofosu-Ampofo to become the new chairman of the largest opposition party in Ghana. Mr. Asiedu Nketia, who vacated the general secretary role to contest Mr. Ampofo, polled over 5,000 votes to claim a landslide victory at the NDC National Congress. 10 months on Dr. Ofosu-Ampofo has yet to come to terms to his defeat. Speaking to Drive Time host Lexus Bill on personality profile, he said events leading to the contest still haunts him today.
I have self-satisfaction that
right.
I have accomplished the most of what I wanted to do, even though I still think that
there's a lot more to do.
I'm still young and can still do a lot more.
Okay.
I always say that the greatest regret is that I led the party as national organizer for us to win the 2008 elections, and again contributed effectively towards 2012 elections. And so my desire was to become a chairman who once again bring the party back to office.
Yeah.
And I thought that together with the team we did a lot of work. You look at the results and you come to conclusion that for the first time that a political party within a space of 4 years were able to increase their vote tally by over 2 million votes, and then sprang from 106 seats to 137 seats and created what we now call a hung parliament. But for one independent, there wouldn't have been a majority or a minority.
Yeah.
And again, for the first time, an opposition party got a Speaker of Parliament. And all this was achieved under my leadership. So apart from the ultimate objective of leading the party to form a government, I think that I'm proud of.
You're proud of
what I've been able to do together with the team of people that I work with.
No, I see how you're excited about all these achievements and all. It should tell me that probably you are very disappointed that you weren't re-elected to become chairman again.
Well, it's a mix. I would have thought that. I thought the level that I brought the party to, the attraction that I brought into the party, the NDC has become one of the most attractive brands in terms of political parties in this country. And I think all is due to the kind of leadership, the kind of inclusivity, and, all hands on deck attitude. Previously, everybody thought that every lawyer was MPP, but we managed to engage our lawyers and form the NDC Lawyers Association. And at the last meeting before I left as national chairman, when they met at Aqua Safari, close to about 300 lawyers had enrolled and were part of the NDC Lawyers Group. I even initiated what we call the legal green, the lawyers at the law school. And by the time we were leaving, close to about 100 members of law students had also formed an association for the NDC. So we broke a lot of new grounds. Our professional forum group became very, very attractive. And today we can boast of professors, engineers, doctors. For this election, NDC, the number of doctors and lawyers who are contesting for the NDC for the 2024 elections will surprise you. It is all as a result of the brand that we try to bring, making the party more attractive, making the party more inclusive, ensuring that.
Is all that why you feel disappointed that you were not re-elected to continue as chairman?
Well, definitely. I indicated to you that my objective was to see the NDC form a government. And the fact that I couldn't achieve that one in my first term, I thought that the second term I could have achieved that one. And that would have satisfied me to the max. But at the end of the day...
but why do you think you were not voted to continue?
Well, you have to go and ask the delegates.
You're not sure? You didn't do any post-mortem to,
no, you
to figure out what probably happened?
I have decided ever since the Congress, I've decided not to comment on this because I don't want the focus of the party to be on me.
Right.
Because I believe that no other single individual is bigger than the party.
President Akufo-Addo has assured that he will respect the decision of the people post-December 7 general election. Speaking at the University of Development Studies at Tamale in the northern region, the president reaffirmed his stance that the will of the people will always prevail. His comments comes at a time when the opposition NDC is pushing for the president to openly commit to accepting the outcome of the 2024 general elections.
As we celebrate this milestone, I also want to reinstate my commitment to ensuring that the 2024 elections pass off without any incident. My administration is committed to guaranteeing free, fair, and transparent elections. We've worked tirelessly to strengthen our democratic institutions and processes, and we will continue to do so to ensure that the will of the people is respected. A peaceful and credible election is crucial for the stability and progress of our country, and we are dedicated to upholding the highest standards of electoral integrity.
A former UN Senior Governance Advisor, Professor Bafo Ejimendua, has urged the National Peace Council to publicly denounce individuals whose comments pose danger to Ghanaians. According to him, the Peace Council should be more proactive in addressing such issues, and their work should not be conducted secretly. Professor Ejimendua said that historically, every government has respected the country's democratic process by peacefully stepping down when defeated. Therefore, any insistence on holding on to power by any means is unacceptable.
The Peace Council, as I said earlier, should be proactive. Also, I don't know why they think their work should be in secret. There's nothing wrong coming publicly to say, look, this public official has erred. We need to stop that. We need to name and shame people. I mean, there are instances where you don't want to go public with names. I agree. But a case where somebody stands publicly to spit fire and brimstone, threatening all of us, 32 years of our democracy, every government has made sure if they lose, they walk away peacefully. So for anyone to insinuate that whatever means we're going to hold on to power, it's unheard of. So I think this is an instance where the Peace Council, in my humble view, have come out to publicly pronounce on it. Because if we do that, then we will be deterring others who may want to come and speak recklessly in public. We don't need to tolerate that, okay? So I think whilst I can accept that some of these things must be done behind closed doors, especially when you are negotiating for some results, that cannot be done in public. Negotiations are never done in public. But where there is a certain statement made publicly, putting all of us at danger, I think the Peace Council should have the courage to stand up and be counted. But frankly, I'm worried because if after 30 years of this republic, towards every election, we are going to have this kind of tension, the political parties are going to create fear and panic by their needless rhetoric, threatening either to hold on to power or to fight to get power. Those things for me are very...
Well, that's it for Election Brief. For more news, please log on to myjournline.com. My name is Christina Sato. Have a pleasant day as you enjoy the rest of our programs.